I fail a lot.
Sure.
And I'm grateful to fail. Even though it hurts, it's a lot of pain. And, but we got to go through pain, right? Like those runs. You got to go through those cold runs, because then the next run when it's sunny, oof, and you're killing it.
Well, thanks for coming on. Introduce yourself.
Let's see. I'm Erik William Kollauf. My dad is William, so I took his name.
Okay, I'm the same. I'm not a junior because different middle name, but
yeah. I'm a dad. I'm a brother. Wisconsinite. Go Pack, but I love all football, right?
Yes.
I've lived here so long that when the Vikings win, my clients were happy, my customers were happy, my friends were happy, so like I prefer the Vikings to win.
Sure.
The world is a little easier for me in Minnesota. So I'm a data nerd. I love data. I love windows. They're not a pain in the glass. They're fun, right? A lot of opportunity in windows. Very creative. I love to read spiritually. Health. I feel energy rich most days, if not all days. Very active. And I see just every person I speak with, it's just an opportunity to share love, share the energy I have to create more, right? More for something, more for the creator, whoever it may be, what you believe in. So
sure.
Just grateful to be here today and grateful for you guys for the opportunity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Grateful to have you on. Thanks for making the way in the cold.
Yes. It makes us stronger though.
It does.
Have you ever heard of Wim Hof?
Yes.
The Iceman.
Yes.
He's this breathing, right?
Yep.
So we're strong here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Have you done any of the cold plunges?
No cold plunges, but I do his morning breathing techniques.
Okay.
You basically breathe in 30 times. You hold your breath as long as you can. You get your fingers almost tingly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get your blood moving. It's good for your immune. And then you go take a cold shower, and oh man, it's amazing.
So you're a cold shower guy?
Yeah, maybe 4.5 minutes.
Sure.
But that's it. Then I'm done.
Okay.
I mean, that'll wake you up.
You got to try the cold plunge.
Yes. I play soccer in Northeast Minneapolis. There's this place called True North. And then they have these tubs of just the 30, 40 degree tubs of water, and people just sit in that for a few minutes, go to the sauna, come back. Mm-hmm. So that's down my gym.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
So my wife's family, they have a cabin in Rhinelander area.
Yeah.
And every year we cut a big hole in the ice with a chainsaw.
Man.
And this year we got an outdoor sauna, so we went back and forth. Super fun.
You're a hero of mine.
Oh man, you got to do it. It sucks, but it's invigorating.
Yeah,
for sure.
I will. It'll be. Let's do it. Yeah, this year it'll happen. So. Yeah.
So you grew up in Ashland. You said you're a track guy. You're a runner.
Yep, ran some track, soccer, a little bit of football. But when high school hit, I'm a little guy.
Yeah.
My friends grew and became strong, and I was just quick.
Sure.
So I went right to soccer.
Okay, smart move.
Yeah, and then basketball was quick, maybe too fast for the ball. So played JV, and then when track came along, oh man, this was my jam. Quick. Almost like an individual sport. Enjoyed the relays, but man, I love running.
So you said you went from mile to 2 mile down to 800.
Yeah. So a lot of endurance, but I really probably my specialty was at 800 meter. And I felt that like if I could just go hard, 800 meters was I was burnt.
Yeah.
So
2 laps. Those are, to me, the 4.8 was harder than the mile 2.
Yeah, just that mile, you kind of chill.
Yeah.
The first, and then the last lap, you're like, all right, what do I got left? Where 800, I felt like I was just doing the last lap the whole time.
The whole way.
Yeah.
It's a painful race.
And then the 4x8 relay was fun. It's you're running a mile, right? Everyone's running a 1600, right? 4x8. Yeah, good times.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd love to volunteer, coaching, track, some type of track volunteer, high school, middle school, just to express some maybe health, wellness, diet, sleep, water, recovery. Do a lot of yoga. So, stretching is very important.
Yeah.
And maybe some cold plunges for the kids.
Yeah, there you go. I'd recommend it. So my wife and I live in Egan, and we coach a youth cross-country team down there for Eastview's program. Yep. And it's great because my wife's a physical therapist, and I have the running background. So it's kind of a nice blend, teach the kids,
So you learn from her?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the physical stuff.
What have you learned about your own body now?
From her, you mean?
Well, just as, you know, your mind obviously is getting better, but maybe your body starts to ache a little bit.
Well, you said yoga. I've always been really tight, especially like in the hamstrings. And so like yoga's helped me a lot with like injury prevention.
Okay.
So yeah.
You get any meditating in?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just start. That's actually one of my New Year's
You're a hippie like me.
Yes. That's one of my New Year's resolutions is meditation.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
God, I'm not alone.
No, it's so good.
I talk to people, I'm like, yeah, this is who I am. I'm a hippie. I do all this weird stuff, but I feel good and I'm happy. So I don't know.
Wait till you get to the cold plunges.
Yeah.
You won't need caffeine, or do you even do?
No, it's just tea.
Just tea.
Just tea. Yeah.
What's in the green drink over there?
AG1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yes.
You like it?
I do. Yeah. I take a lot of meds in the morning. Wouldn't say medicine. Yeah, I suppose it's medicine, right? Little pills for, you know, vitamins. And the AG1 just has a pack of everything, you know, so I feel like I got a good balance. If I miss a breakfast or something, at least I feel like, all right, I got what I needed in there. So,
all right.
Lots of water, 9.5 pH.
Okay.
To stay alkaline, right?
Yep.
So I'm a nerd. I got this like water filter.
You are all on this data.
This K2, you know, I read these things and I go, well, if I implement just that little thing in my body, could I live 10 years longer? Why not? You know, I didn't have to make too much change. So yeah, I probably look like I'm 18.
You do.
36, and it's the intention, right? If I feel like I'm 18, and I treat myself and I have fun and I dance, then I hope to live longer, and that's what my big goal is: to ring out life and just live longer.
I like it. So what do you do besides yoga for exercise?
Well, let's see. Mondays are runs usually, 1 to 2 miles. You know, I get into 5Ks. I like the speed. Little morning run. Even the cold ones are wake you up. Tuesdays is gym. Wednesdays a little bit Peloton, and then Thursdays gym. Friday run. Take a break on the weekends. Sleep in on the weekends.
Yeah,
and back at it on Monday.
Rest the body.
Yeah,
I like it. Well, cool. Well, tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, we have 2 businesses. One is BEPO, stands for Building Envelope Protection Opportunity. It's an AI business that we scan images. We scan images of properties, identifying discontinued shingles, discontinued siding, discontinued windows, and we train a machine like we would train a baby, right? Lots of practice to identify what is there and how long is it going to last. And we use data, permit data, to identify what's there based on an image. Images are usually old or difficult to see. So then we drive out to these properties to verify and train the machine to service a lot of industries, insurance companies, right? Identify how to assess proper risk, you know, to renew or not renew, to increase premium or not premium, right? To service the remodeling industry, knowing what type of data is there can be helpful on targeting your efforts. In a storm activity or a retail activity. Real estate appraisers, right? Being able to appraise properties without actually having to be on site, knowing how long these materials should last based on a hail-prone, fire-prone, what types of materials should be installed in California homes, right? So that they're not as susceptible to fire. That's been fun. It takes a lot of money, a lot of resources. To build that. Smart people. I'm the visionary. I know it works. I use AI too much. It's my personal professional assistant. And so as we're doing this, I'm like, well, I want to own this on my own. So what I do know is I know training. I know how to teach people. That's my superpower. I can earn super pay for that. So I teach contractors in the roofing industry, in the window retail industry, window restoration, how certain window manufacturers are susceptible to storm damage, hit by wind, hail, whatever. So a lot of contractors will say, well, that window doesn't have broken glass. Like, well, no, it's not the glass that gets damaged. And, oh, that's just a rewrap. Like, no, it's actually part of the window. Like, the manufacturer doesn't make that window anymore. So if there's damage and it's compromised the seal, well, it needs to be replaced, just like a gutter or, fascia, right?
Yeah.
So to be aware of items in the homeowner's agreement with their insurance is important. Being aware of how to pivot the claim, because these are very large claims.
Yeah.
Windows are, $80, $90, $100,000 averages, these projects. So really helping with data to teach contractors to say, hey, when a storm hits, yeah, you can go in this area, but the average project's maybe $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 roofing. Well, there's some $100K, $80K projects right over here, right over there, right over there, Instead of doing 10 projects, just do 2, right? It's probably the same amount of time.
Yeah.
But make sure you have smart people that know how to order, know how to measure. Windows can be a pain in the glass again.
Yeah.
And it's not just, getting your rock star guy that is amazing at roofing. You're not ordering 10% waste. You got to get it right on, measure twice.
Yeah.
Teaching these contractors has been really exciting. I love the feeling of like, oh, wow, really? How did you see that? How did you know that? Like, oh, this is free. Just search this and yeah, there's a tool for that. Oh, you can get this information here. Oh, really? How did you know that? Well, I had to fail a lot. I made a lot of mistakes and this is what worked for me. So yeah, now just sharing what helped me be successful to contractors or remodelers or the industry, the power of data, right? So data-driven prospecting is probably our big key. Yeah, all right. That's our businesses.
So what's Eagle Eye?
It's my eye.
Okay.
So I met with an adjuster a while back and we were looking at storm damage on a window and I go, oh yeah, there's one right there, one right there. I got my flashlight, and rub it and wipe it and a little chalk and see, man, how did you see that? I look up out a window, I go, oh, see all those little dents? When you look up a gutter or fascia, you see all the little peppering.
Yep.
How did you see that? Man, you got like an eagle eye. I go, I sure do. So
it's like your brand.
Yeah.
It's your personal brand.
It's like, training contractors, training machines to have an eagle eye when they look at an opportunity. Slow down, just because this is damaged. Well, hey, there could be more opportunity. Get your eagle eye out.
Yeah. So, I like that. So you said 2 businesses, Beepo, and the other one is
Eagle Eye.
It is Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye's the training.
Got it. Yeah, that's you're helping contractors and got it.
Basically building revenue to build the AI.
Okay.
And that's fun. I love it. The AI stuff is so fast, and I need smart people to do that. So a lot of it way above my head.
How long have you been doing this for?
9 months.
9 months.
9 months. Quite new. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been struggle, right? To have an opportunity, right, where if you make a mistake or you fail, there's a business to support you. There's funds to support you if it's a bad month, right, or no storms.
Yeah.
And then when it's on your own, it's all on you. So good months and really hard months, and good months and really hard months. But through all that pain, I preach like it's so important to experience all this, right? All this pain, because you learn so many nuggets. This adversity is just so many opportunities. So I'm excited for the year and just doing what I can to focus on my business, focus on my health, focus on my family, just to still be happy every day,
I love it.
Have faith.
You got a good energy about you.
Thank you.
So you got an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Have you done any businesses previous to this?
No, first one.
No.
Yeah.
And what did you do for work previous?
Sales.
Okay.
Windows. Yep. Knocking doors, talking to homeowners, influencing maybe an adjuster, writing estimates, settling claims, dealing with mortgage, selecting windows, renewing a home. And then really just taking that opportunity and sharing it with the whole neighborhood, through fun marketing ways, social media, the book over there, that jab, right hook. I love all those social media books, how to create awareness in this day. So I love the direct, the door to door. I love the phone, pick up the phone and call when it's cold like this. Social media to maybe build some brand, maybe build some awareness, but maybe not actually get the knockout.
For sure.
But it just supports, the billboard maybe just supports the knock of the door or the call or the text, right?
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Jab, left hook. I love it.
Gary Keller, the owner of Keller Williams Real Estate, probably the 3rd largest real estate company in the nation. He talks about this 8x8 touch. These clients, you got to touch them 8 times, maybe 2 phone calls, 2 door knocks, maybe 3 mailers, you got to hit them 8 times. And finally they're like, oh, okay, what's this all about? Good.
Sure.
So if you have that mindset of 8 touches, you don't get you don't quit after that first or second touch. It takes, 6 more.
A lot of people appreciate that hard work. When they say, all right, this guy's relentless.
Well,
what's this guy?
Kind persistence.
Yep.
Kind persistence.
Yep. I had an uncle of mine once say, persistence overrides resistance. Because he was in sales pretty much his whole life. And I'm like, what was the trick for you? And
look at Henry Ford. That guy had no education and just kept going. Dale, Carnegie, right? All these Rockefeller, just persistence, desire. I love the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. They talk about these persistence and desire and faith and mastermind groups. It's all real today.
Yeah. Tell us a funny story since you started your business 9 months ago. Something interesting.
Sure. Not very good at accounting. Tax season. So,
you find your weaknesses.
Yeah. I go fast. I go, oh, I want this. I'm going to do it and do it. And then you go, oh man, I should have managed some of that stuff. I should have had a folder for all that stuff. So, now I'm playing a little catch up and organizing. So, let's see, what's a funny story?
And it could even be like a tidbit of advice as you've started your entrepreneurial venture here.
Yeah. When you go into, a call, try not to have a plan. Just pick up the phone and see where it goes. Feel the energy, feel the vibe. I found that when I have a plan or, an intention, it doesn't go the way I want it. So almost just like a surfer, just feel the wave, let it go. If it's not there's times where I'll call contractors and right away when they go, what do you want? Oh, I hang up, not feeling the energy.
Yeah.
But if I pick up the phone and they're like, hey, how you doing today? I'm like, man, I'm doing great. How are you doing? All right, this is going to be a good call. If I'm not liking the energy, I just hang up.
I like it. I like that, the intentionality of it too, because that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me of like racing back in the day, because I would like visualize, like, let's say the night before, a week before a race. Yeah. This is what I'm going to do. Things don't always happen the way you visualize them. Yeah. You got to have like that plan B, but I like that just kind of free flow attitude.
Sure.
I think when you walked in the room here, you're like, all right, you're looking around, you're like looking for the vibe. But
I'm trying to be very aware, right? Aware of my surrounding, aware of people's energy. How can I relate to create a common interest? And, I don't know, give them love, right? Give them gratitude, love your style, man. Got a cool, I love the colors in here. The building here is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Came in, so you guys got your stuff together.
Yeah.
The optics are there.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate it. Well, you too, when someone comes in and and you can tell they're, like, I saw your green drink, but this guy's into health.
Nerd.
I love it though. But it creates a tone. Like this guy's, like you said, got his crap together.
Yeah. Well, I try to, right? But I fail a lot.
Sure.
And I'm grateful to fail. Even though it hurts, it's a lot of pain. And, but we got to go through pain, right? Like those runs. You got to go through those cold runs, because then the next run when it's sunny, you're killing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you grew up in Ashland, so I'm in Duluth, so you had to bear some. I remember I put on my ski, we'd have school would be canceled. I'd still go get my long run and wear my ski goggles,
right?
Cover the face.
Yeah. I lived in Colorado and it would be, 1 degree, cancel school. I'm like, man, I remember going to school and it was like -10.
For sure.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
School, the city still has to move.
For sure.
Other parts of the country, they kind of shut down, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. So the name of the podcast is called The Chills, and I talk about like those feel good moments. Like, what in your personal life gives you the chills?
A good book, man. A good book or that aha moment.
Okay.
I try to be very aligned with the spirituality and those moments, the energy, right? Your chakras. You have these chakras in our body. And when I feel that, like maybe a good quote or a story that I'm like, oh, wow, that makes sense. Man, I've been reading this book or reading these books for so long. So then I'll go back and read another book, years later, and I get so much out of it because I receive it better.
A book you've already read.
Yeah. Like Think and Grow Rich. I've read that so many times, and now I'm reading again, over and over again, and I'm like, wow, how did I miss all this stuff? Like, well, I'm a different person now. So these items that 10 years ago didn't really click for me, and maybe I skimmed over it, but now it's like this new information because I'm receiving it and I'm in a different place. I think we can just learn so much from rereading books and rereading messages from the past and learn a lesson because we're receiving it, in a different space now. So
sure.
Does that answer your question?
Sure.
I don't even know what you asked.
Yeah.
Just going.
What gives you those feel good moments?
Oh yeah, good book.
Good book.
Yeah,
does it, huh?
A good book, a good quote.
I'm a quote guy too.
You ever watch like some of these Disney movies? Like my little girl watches these Disney movies, and I'll get like goosebumps. I'm like, man, what did they like? Oh my God, that was real. Like they speaking to adults now?
For sure. Even like Home Alone. You watch that with kids.
Yeah.
You guys give up or you're thirsty for more? It's like random. Like I can use that in business. Like I can use that in running.
Oh yeah, you're thirsty for more. Yeah, I mean, your body is so strong. Wow. Yeah. Thoughts, right? Our thoughts, intentionality with our thoughts.
Top 5 books you'd recommend?
The 5 Agreements.
Okay.
Think and Grow Rich. It's always up there. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
That's a good one.
Yeah. The One Thing, Gary Keller. That's a good one. The Way of the Superior Man.
I haven't heard of that one.
That's a good one. Yeah, some spiritual books, some workbooks, focus books. Yeah.
All right. So chills again within your business.
Well, chills today. It's cold.
Yeah.
You know, you got to start the car, right? I have an electric vehicle, so I got to charge a lot.
All right.
This time of year, it's not a good car. It's a good car, but I need to have more time in my day. You know, I need to be intentional with my drive because I need to go and charge a little bit. So I get the chills when it's cold because I'm like, oh man, I gotta plan my drive.
Sure.
How much charge am I gonna lose? If we've planned a trip, I gotta, put in a couple hours of charging just to Eau Claire or something. So
what kind of car is it?
Elon all the way.
All right. I like it. Why not?
Elon all the way.
Why not?
Apple, I get attached, right? And so now that I'm attached to certain things, I'm kind of aware, like, all right, why am I so attached to these things? Apple and my phone. And so trying to set, when you ask the question, go pack, I'm like, well, I don't want to be too attached. I'm open to all teams, so
Sure.
practicing this non-attachment. Because think of it, like when the Vikings lose, right? Or the Packers lose, it ruins our day sometimes.
Yeah.
And then we spread that poor energy. We spread, what's going on. Like we have no really control of how the Vikings perform. Mm-hmm. And now it's going to ruin how I treat my wife or my coworkers or my friends. Like, no way, man. Less attachment on that. And in the 5 Agreements, to talk about being more of like, what preference? Like, what are your preferences? So when 2 teams play, I try my best to be like, you know what? I like the red team. I have a little bit of a bias to the blue team, but man, I just want a good battle, a good fight, come down to overtime, good battle. Whatever team wins, great. Go on with my day.
Okay. I like it. So how do you tie your fitness into work? Your health into work?
My calendar. Man, my calendar is, so I get up at 5:30. I sit in my bed, I read my I am statements. Then I go into some Wim Hof breathing, do that for about 20 minutes. Then I speak to myself in the mirror. I'm love, I'm a rock star, I'm smart, kind of get my self-confidence up. Mm-hmm. I do some yoga for 10 minutes. I do some meditation for 10 minutes. I send a little quote out to my followers, maybe some inspiration for the day. A journal. I have my personal journal, just my thoughts, my feelings, what my intentions are, what I'm grateful for. Then I go into my work journal, what are my tasks for the day. I have my, and that's kind of like my morning. And then I go into like a run or a bike or a gym, right? So like my morning, usually by 8 o'clock, like I got all my me stuff out, and then I can
Sure.
work on, being a dad and getting her to school or my business. Mm-hmm. But I believe that like we can turn these 1 days into like 2 days. We can do ourself in the morning, a little bit of work before noon, do ourself at noon, and then jump into some more work, and then turn these 24 or 12 hours into actually 2 days of just intentional. The book One Thing by Gary Keller talks about just having focus of that one thing where everything else is not as important or unnecessary. Mm-hmm. So like if I'm doing something, is there a who that can do that how? Why am I procrastinating that? Is there someone that can do that for me that's smarter or that really enjoys accounting? Yes, there are people that do bookkeeping. All right, find that person so I can focus on, my one thing for the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can fit a lot in a day if you're intentional with it. And avoid TV, right? And avoid scrolling on the social media. I'm on all these social medias, but I don't typically scroll. I try not to actually at all. It's just on there, post something, cool, get off of it. I look at my journal throughout the day. All right, what's my goals today? Okay, yeah, did that. Oh shoot, didn't do that. All right, gotta move that to tomorrow. Mm-hmm. All right, is that aligned with my weekly goal? Is that aligned with my monthly goal? A lot of people don't even have personal goals mm-hmm. or personal missions or personal values, right? So some days I miss the workout.
Yep.
Just trying to be so hard on yourself, right? Yeah. And try again the next day.
So what's a I am. What'd you say? I am statement?
I am statement. Like, just reminding yourself that,
Oh, like I am.
I am.
Got it.
Instead of saying like, we get in these cycles that like, I want, I will, I want this in my life. I want to be healthier. Like, well, I am healthy and I am healthier. And in saying those things, it reprograms your brain. And you dream about that I am healthy, and you make I am healthy decisions, and you avoid, maybe fatty foods because you are healthy, right?
Yeah.
I am energy rich. So I come in here and probably have a lot of energy. I'm on the edge of my seat leaning in.
Sure.
Because I am energy rich, right? So it's kind of tricking your brain, tricking your subconscious, right? To be who you want to be. So yeah, these I am statements, they're just little sentences that are aligned with me. And so yeah, more nerd hippie stuff.
Teach me a little bit about, because meditation was on my list for my New Year's. Like, what kind of meditation do you recommend, or how do you follow? Or
so there's an app called the Calm app.
Okay.
I usually just pop on there each morning. There's a 10-minute daily, the daily practice they have. I click on that. It's 10 minutes of meditation. I've also read some books on meditation, and really, like, it's just kind of being. Like, sometimes when you're sometimes I don't get in a meditative spot, where I'm calm or relaxed. Sometimes work is distracting me, or bills, or, my little girl gets up and she wants to hang out. I'm like, I'm still in my zone right now, So just being in whatever, I like, breathing in through the nose is really important. And then feeling that breath down to your belly, and then almost your belly being like a balloon, right? It's important to breathe through your nose. Get a good. It almost wakes up your brain down to your belly, and it's important to know how to breathe. Like a good breath is actually a belly breath, not a chest breath. So you breathe in that belly, and then I just focus on my energy wheel. These chakras we have, these energies. Your pelvis is your first one. I do a couple breaths there, and that usually keeps me focused on the actual moment. And by the time 9 minutes are in, there's usually a little quote, or like a quote for the day. Hey, today's was about addiction. Like, we have these wounds. We tend to like want to open this wound, and just being aware of the wound and looking at the wound and being like, okay, there's a wound there. I'm aware of it. Why do I have these intentions towards it? All right, what can I do to avoid that wound? Maybe I read a book, or go for an exercise, or distract myself from that wound. Yeah. I don't know if I just go on these rabbit trails because I don't know, I just want to puke. It's the intentionality, that they talk about is like, more listening. So I struggle with that. I tend to want to just talk and not want to listen. So, I'm working on it.
Gift of gab is not a bad thing in sales.
True. But you can learn a lot when you listen, right? And ask really good questions. You get to that, their private life or their secret life. If someone can really share their private life with you, man, there's a bond. Or their secret life, well, there's even like a commitment. This Everyday Spy talks about, he was a CIA agent, and talked about how he can build relationships with these objectives, right? These people. And he builds a relationship by getting them to share secret information about them, right? And then there's like this bond. Like, they'll die for that CIA agent or whatever, that operative. And so yeah, there's these areas of creating a relationship, right? By asking intentional questions, having people to express what they don't typically express. So I ask people like, hey man, what got you jazzed today? People are like, what do you mean? I'm like, man, what got you out of bed? I'm like, oh, I don't know, the alarm. Well, of that alarm, like, what force inside of you actually got you out of bed and walked to the door and did your things today? And, well, I had to go to work. All right, well, what's exciting about at work today? What are you working on that's exciting? Like those types of questions versus like, how you doing? Good. All right. And then we keep walking.
Sure.
So it's cool to say, I'm doing pretty bad today.
Yeah.
And people go, oh, wow, what's going on? Like, thank you. Yeah. I'm actually doing all right, but yeah, let's talk.
Change it up a little bit.
Yeah, reprogram the brain.
Huh. So, one question I was thinking about, and I lost my. How do you separate yourself from your competition in business or sales?
The data we have a lot of data, and probably the mindfulness in our training. We go into a lot of our clients want the content, right? But really, to receive the content, we have to be ready to receive it. So we meditate during our trainings. We get in like we empty our cup. So we have more of a humbled appreciation to receive the information. If we have any, rebuttals or this isn't going to work, write those down in your journal. We'll, get them on paper. Let's not get it out to the group. It might poison. We don't want fruit flies in the training, right? So we meditate. We do yoga in the morning. We get our bodies ready to receive the information, and then our trainings are in the classroom for half of the day, and we go in the field. And we apply this stuff in the field. We talk to homeowners. We talk to insurance adjusters. We touch homes, touch windows. And then on that last day, that Friday, we generate jobs for them. Like we call people. We knock on doors. We generate these large projects with them so they can experience all the content. So it's like slowing down the content, talking about the big golden nuggets throughout each day, and then going out in the field and applying it. Versus a lot of these other trainings, I think it's like a big classroom setting. They talk for a little bit and then, all right, cool, good luck. Like, oh man, no, I want them to I want to ring out the opportunity. I go to their place of establishment, sit in their office, meet their people. We go out for lunch, right? Learn about their families. I'm interested in their interests, and their story. And I use that to relate, when we're talking about the week. All right, so, let's say we're talking to the homeowner. Why love is important, why self-love is important is because when people shut the door on you, you don't want that. You don't want that to affect you. You want to be more worthy, and don't let that rejection. And a way to do that is to love what you're doing, and to love the conversation, and go on to the next door with a whole new mind, a renewed mind, and embrace that rejection because you're learning. So, the training really is broken down into 4 pillars. It's like self-love, health, energy, richness, got to be feeling good. Joy, got to have fun in our life, goals, missions, things like that. And the last day is wealth. And wealth for me is really about freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom of relationships, saying no and yes to certain clients, and then freedom of purpose. What is your purpose in life? So we break down each day into those pillars. So we kind of have a well-rounded week, and then attach content to each of that. So data, content, how do we convert these clients remotely with AI? How do we identify the opportunity? How do we build estimates and get them approved faster by coaching clients to help settle the claim? Homeowners have a lot of power. They can create a lot of urgency. And then that last day is we apply everything, and we usually generate 6 to 8 leads for them, which are $100K each. So, $500,000 in business. And all right, guys, give you some calls when you need some help. Usually there's some calls throughout the week, but hey, I got this window, what is that? Like, oh man, that looks like a posy. Okay. So they were discontinued in 1987, 88. And they were bought out by this company called Weather Shield, the Shield family. Reach out to Weather Shield. They'll have a letter, and you do that whole deal, like shingles, right? Yep. So
how do you do that, but with commercial roofs, flat roofs?
So,
side out of mind.
Commercial stuff, I'm kind of, it's more just windows. I'm aware of the asphalt world. I really didn't get into flat roofing or the membrane. More just windows. Sure. Just a window nerd.
Okay. But what got you into windows originally?
Well, I went to school to be an architect.
Okay.
And 2008, a lot of clients were closing shop. Architect firms were closing shop. So at that point, maybe I liked windows. I looked really large windows, big windows, right? That was really an aesthetically pleasing to a home. And then the company I work for, PCS, they specialize in window restoration, a restoration company out of Egan. And but their big specialty is windows, and had to learn how to knock a door, which was scary.
Yeah.
Came from doing like AutoCAD design work at this mechanical engineering company for a while. And then got on board and had to go knock on a door. And I was like, oh geez, I've done Cutco, but like this is way different. And so I failed. For the first 3 months, I was gonna, get let go. And I had to pivot, right? I had to find opportunity. So then I became really good at getting data, calling people, mailing people, texting people at that time. And then through all that helped me get some leads, right? Opportunity. And then I had enough courage to go knock on a door because I knew what I was selling was good. I've had some fruits of my labor, and I could use that to be like, well, hey, like I'm going to come back because I know this works. I've had homeowners that would say, hey, thanks for coming back, or thanks for being persistent because just wasn't in the space to receive your message last week. I go, yeah, I know you're busy, but this is important stuff. Like you only got a certain amount of time to get it fixed. So yeah, windows. I love them.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about your family.
I have a little girl, Parker. She's 6.
6 years
old. And I have a girlfriend, Olivia, and she's a little boy named George. He's 8. And so we're up in Albertville right now. So I come down, bring her to school in Minneapolis. George goes to school up north in Monticello. And so he's into basketball, soccer, football. So I love that, like playing catch, playing sports, all that cool stuff. My Parker's into gymnastics, swimming, and soccer. So we get that level of activity, that play, and that just keeps me jazzed, right? All that. But then we're really like intentional. Like we help them set goals. You know, we have this like for our family, the big list of all the goals for the family. We sit around at dinner and we say what we're grateful for. So it's like, it's challenging, right? As they're growing, each age has different challenges. So experiencing attitude, sass, right? Or no, like, no's. All right, well, hey, no, what about ask why? Maybe not say no, but ask why, like ask questions. So I'm trying to teach them to be resilient, go through some pain and struggle, have to do things on their own, figure it out on their own, not try not to do it for them. So, it's an interesting time. We do activities, right? Skating on the pond, walking the dog in these cold days, try to get everyone outside because outdoor nature is good, right? For us, run out that energy if we're feeling like a little, maybe we got a lot of attitude today. Let's get out and run it out.
Sure.
Let's go, hit some pillows or something. Yeah. And then let's go draw a picture about it or journal about it. If they're able to write words and then have a conversation afterwards. Yeah. Cause sometimes I'm not in a state to respond, right? My level, my energy is so high, my vibrations are so high, and the frequency I'm giving out is not, receiving, right? So, let's just, let it go through, take a little break. And then let's write about it. And then, okay, well, hey, what was going on there is you were sitting in that right side of your brain, your emotions, right? Well, we were in the middle of the store and we were trying to check out, So the logic side is telling us, hey, if we're feeling frustrated, let's have a conversation. But during a tantrum, high energy, having a lot of passion in this item that you want, let's have a conversation. So trying to connect the right brain and left brain as maybe we do as adults. But man, it's amazing how well they forgive. They'll be fighting, like hurting each other. Yeah. And I'm like, man, if I did that to a coworker, like I wouldn't want to talk to them for like the rest of the year. Yeah. If they made me cry, like I don't want to go back to the office. Like HR's getting my call for sure. But these kids, they fight and they hit, and then an hour later they're best friends. Like, wow, you guys forgive so quick. Like, man, teach me your ways. Yeah. Forgive and move on.
We can learn from them.
Oh, totally. And to be patient, or they'll ask you questions like, hey, Dad, why are we in a hurry? And I'm like, you know what? We don't need to be in a hurry. We'll take our time, right? It's cold out and it's icy. We'll get there when we get there.
Sure.
A lot of golden nuggets that they teach me. So I'm trying to receive it all.
Yeah, I like it. Bonus question for you. What got you jazzed today?
Coming here. It's my first podcast. Yeah. I wrote this in my, probably mid-year last year, I wrote down want to be a part of a podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts, right? So I learn a lot from podcasts. And this was exciting. Wrote in there, just be what I am, right? Be here, be me. And don't prep. You're already prepped, right? Answer questions with your heart and your soul, and just be grateful. So just grateful to be here, grateful for the opportunity, and looking forward to listen to it and have more people to listen to and follow, right? Sure. So
how do people get in touch with you?
Instagram, at Erik Kollauf, beepoai.com, Facebook, all the social medias at Erik Kollauf, LinkedIn, Eagle Eye, Window Consulting, LinkedIn, Beepo, or just give me a text.
That's right.
So.
And who should get in touch with you? Like, who are you trying to target?
It would be the window retail contractors of the world that really want to grow their average contract size 8 times. Really the roofing restoration contractors that want to create an $8 million sales rep annually. with a third of the energy. The tools and AI that is out there, man, it's amazing how much time and energy that it can save us if we maybe embrace AI, but be aware of what AI can do too. So, grow with our average contract size with less energy, more effectiveness, right? So, yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Meditation, health,
and wellness, man.
AI.
Yeah. We didn't get into too much of AI.
Eagle eye.
AI is fun, man. Oh, so they have, in California, you can put on glasses now. You walk in your closet, you scan your wardrobe, and it will tell you based on your calendar for the day what you should wear based on the environment, based on your feelings.
No way.
It saves you, a few minutes. I know people that will spend an hour sometimes getting ready. And then, AI will, there's tools now where you can scan with your glasses a neighborhood, and it will tell you the colors, the materials of that neighborhood, when they were built, average square price. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. Man, it's coming.
Oh man, it's already here.
It's already here.
It's already here.
Very true. Well, good deal. Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
And that's a wrap, folks. A huge thank you to our incredible guests and, of course, All Weather Roof for making this podcast possible. If you enjoyed these conversations as much as we did, don't forget to hit subscribe and share the chills with your fellow business aficionados. Remember, it's not just about business, it's personal, and it's all about the people. Stay inspired, chase those dreams, and let the chills guide you. Till next time, this is Brent signing off from the Chills Podcast. Catch you on the flip side.